So good evening and good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us. My name is Rocco.
I'm Chilla.
And why we are here today. So the topic for today is about stand up and create the life you desire.
Not a stand-up comedy, but it can be if you want.
Yeah, and the reason for that life is changing and the whole world is changing. And what we see, a lot of people were panicking of what is happening now, what's going to happen, what will be our future, or can we go back to the past that we had before, like
I want my old life back. How many times did you hear it, or you were thinking of that? I want my life back. But do you really want your old life back, actually?
And it doesn't really matter what happens in the world. Sometimes it happens personally in your own life, something like a big trauma or something tragic can happen to you, a big drama that changes everything in your life. Something, it happens worldwide, and we are always afraid of the change. But the question is that what can we do in these situations? And are you sure that this change is not because you were asking for that?
And the other thing is, are you really scared of that, or are you excited of the change? Because sometimes we mix together, the fear and the scare
and excitement. But we're not talking about that when you are logically thinking that, oh, the situation is very shit. Of course, it's not excitement, but I'm scared. It's fear. But the question is that if you don't use your logical thinking, but you are present with yourself, you present with what you sense as a being, because there is a difference between whether you function as an infinite being or you function from your daily life. You function based on the fears, based on the belief systems, based on all your fears. Is that what you sense is really fear, or is that the being is excited because something amazing can happen now, a big change is happening?
Yeah, you sense the new possibilities, you sense something will change, and do you afraid of that change will be bad, or something bad can happen if you start to change something? Is it really true? Change can be bad?
So is that really, so the question is that it's your logical mind telling you something bad is going to happen, or you as a being, you sense something amazing is going to happen? Because the difference is not much in that sense of how you feel about it. Because most of the time you feel something that, like these two feelings, that being scared or being excited is very, very close to each other. And a lot of times we mix up these two. So the question is that when something happens to you, something major, something huge, something big, something life-changing, something traumatic or dramatic, is that excitement, or is that fear? Is that something bad is going to happen? And there is an amazing tool, because first we all go to the logical answer. You look for the logical answer, you look around, you check the news, you check your old reference points, or you should check any kind of reference points. Because a reference point is something like somewhere where you saw that in the past, you experienced it in the past, or you saw that your friends had the same experience, or your parents had it, or in another country, or in the media, or somewhere else you saw the same thing, and you say, okay, when this happens, when this shows up, this is what it means, and this is what comes after that. Therefore, you take it as a reference point, you make it significant, and in the future, where something similar happens, you take it and you label it the same way. So instead of allowing your being, the infinite being that you are, allowing yourself to function from your consciousness, and that consciousness is not something that you learned. It has nothing to do with what you have learned in the school, what you have learned from books. Your consciousness is, as an infinite being, you have access to all the information, you have access to the whole universe, you have access to everyone's and everything's consciousness. And so through that, you have this information. So that's the question. What is the space that you function from? And you have to ask yourself, I mean, the first question is that, how can you decide whether it's logically something shit that is going to happen, or it's you, the being, that's part of you, who you are truly, the infinite being is sensing that something amazing is going to happen. And there is this amazing tool, which is called the Light and Heavy. And the main thing about this tool, that anything for you as an infinite being, anything that makes you feel lighter, that creates an expansion, that is true for you, that is something that will create greater for you. So what you do, you connect to that topic, you connect, let's say in this case, the topic of your fear. Like there is a fear that what's going to happen to me because this has happened in the world, or I'm just get fired. And I'm afraid that if I'm fired, I'm not going to have a job, I'm not going to have an income, and my life
going under the bridge.
Yeah, we are.
No food, no shelter, nothing.
Yeah, can't pay to the bank, can't pay to the landlord, can't have money for food and all these
because
things.
That's logical, you know. You can have money only from your job, right? That's the first reaction, actually, usually. Yeah. But if you start to ask questions and use the Light and Heavy tool,
it is really about, you sense, you connect to this fear and you ask the question that, like, you really just be present, and what is the feeling, what is the sensation that comes up for you? Do you get lighter, or do you get expansion, or do you start to feel contraction? Because if something makes you feel contracted, and it's really important, like you don't try to convince yourself that, oh, this shit happened now, and I'm afraid that this and this and this is going to happen, therefore logically it is what it is, so I don't even have to go into my infinite being because logically I know it is going to be shit. You shouldn't tell me it's not going to be shit. But the thing is that the infinite being that you truly be, it has access to all the information. The problem is that through all the different lifetimes, and this lifetime as well, we learned how we should sort of like translate our feelings into logic, or how we should use our logical mind to override what we sense as a being. Because what we learned in all the different lifetimes, in the school and from everyone around us, that it's just feeling, don't worry about it, it's nothing special, you have to focus on the information, your memories, the past experience, because you can rely on that, you can depend on that, and you can use it to forecast what is going to happen to you. Just look around in the world and you will know what's happening. But as a being, you can sense the much greater picture, and as a being, you are not biased, or you are not driven by lies, or you are not, you don't have to follow someone else's point of view. But you really can access to the core of this information, you can access to all the information, to the consciousness. So are you ready to follow your own awareness? Are you ready to follow all the information that you have as an infinite being? Because most of it is not going to be logical. It's never logical. It's all about that you as an infinite being, you function as being in communion with the whole universe, being in communion with all the trees, with all the plants, with all the animals, with Mother Earth, the whole planet. You are in communion with all the being and living structures. You are in communion with the bodies, and not just in this present moment, but beyond time and space. So you are present with all the different layers of time and space and all the dimensions. And what comes up for you is that information. And at the beginning, it feels like it shows up as you feel lighter, or you feel expansion, or if that's not true for you, or if it's something that will create less for you, then it feels like a contraction, either in your body or in your being. So that's a really important thing to, when something happens to you, just stop for a moment and don't keep panicking, but allow yourself to have space with that situation and be present with the situation, not with your points of view, but with the energy of the situation, and just see what does it create in you. What does it create in your body, or what does it create in your being? Does it create expansion? Does it create ease? Or does it create contraction or heaviness? And this is a very, very simple tool. And the most amazing thing is that it works. Mm-hmm. And it's really, really unbelievable how simple is that. And I think a lot of people don't really use it because they don't really believe in that. But the thing is, you just need to start to use it and use it and use it and play with it. Play with very small things, with all kinds of decisions you have to do on a daily basis. Like you have to do like hundreds or thousands of decisions in a day. Like, should I go left here or right? Should I catch this bus or the next one? Should I go and do this and meet this person or not? Should I sign this document or not? Will it create more for me or not? Will it create more for my friends, my family? Will it create more money for me? Will it create more happiness for me? So just be present and ask these questions. And the energy that comes up, that comes from that pure space of your consciousness, of you being present with everyone in this whole universe. And actually, this is what we started to use a few years ago, because we all had our own drama and trauma.
No, it's not
never.
True. No.
It was like 3 years ago. We went for a holiday to Australia, and one day we were walking on the beach. It was amazing, beautiful sunshine. We were just talking about what is the life that we desire to live. You know, it's an interesting thing.
Because, you know, it's in your mind what you really would like. But, you know, that was the first time we really started to talk about it. And it's totally different when you talk about it or when you write down what you really desire than something just in your head. Because, you know, it's totally different energy. So finally we started to talk about, okay, so if nothing would matter, what do we really want? What do we really choose? What do we really would like to create in our life?
Our life was like, we had a profession, like we were studying in high school and college, university, and had our profession. We had our job, working in that job, and then, okay, is this life? Is this everything what we desire to have? Or can we choose something else? But if you would like to choose something else, do you have to study a new profession, or do you have to learn everything about it, or do you have to hire people who will do it for you if you don't have the profession? Like, and how much will it cost, or what can you create? Like is it safe to have a business, or you have to be employed for all eternity? Like all these things, and these are the belief systems that we hear, that we buy into. We learn it from our parents, from the friends, from this society, from the people around us. And on the other side, we had a sense of what we would like to have. If nothing really matters, what is the life or what is the lifestyle that we really would like to have? What would we like to do on a daily basis? And one of the things was that we really would like to travel, and we would like to have fun. We would like to have free time to go down the beach. We would like to do all kinds of things that is fun, like meeting people and spending time with fun people and all these things. And part of it was, as I mentioned, like travel, and really have that much money to be able to travel, to be able to stay in hotels, or to be able to go to a restaurant and all these things that were really, really, really exciting for us. And it had an amazing energy of, wow, it's really exciting. We felt it in our body. We felt it everywhere around us. It has a really exciting energy for both of us. And then, of course, we had all the base fears, all the old belief systems, all the experiences and the fears of the friends and all the other people's points of view that this is how it's not going to happen. You are not educated well enough. You don't know enough. You don't know how to do it. No one did it before, or not many people was successful in that. And all these points of view, like, how will you do it? You have never done that in the past. It will be very hard. And one thing is that maybe it's true for them, but does it have to be true for you? Like, are you allowed to have your own reality? Or just because you're born into this planet, you have the same reality as everyone else?
You have to follow the same rules. Actually, can you follow the same rules?
I guess not many people are good at following each other's rules.
Yeah, I'm not really. Actually, I just tell a story. You know, the COVID, it's here in New Zealand as well. And, you know, you can go to, it was level 3, and you could go to the supermarket, but, you know, there were arrows in the row. So you can go this way in this row and the opposite way, the other row. Of course, I didn't listen. I didn't see, actually. So I went, shh. So, you know, and I felt so stupid because, you know, the people said, I know the people, the cashiers, whatever, you know, people are working there. You are not allowed to come in this row in that way. Why not? Look, the arrow. Oh, fuck, I don't care. Yeah, so, you know, are you willing to, or do you want to, you know, follow others' rule? Or would you like to create your own reality, your own life?
Like, what if life is really not just about rules, or it's not about, there is no such thing as, just because everyone's life is like this, just because you haven't seen a different possibility, it doesn't mean you are not allowed to have a different possibility, or you are not allowed to create a different reality. So everywhere where people tell you what is their reality, it's their reality. It's totally okay. But the amazing thing is that you, as an infinite being, you are allowed to create something different. It doesn't have to be the same. And at the same time, it can still be a contribution to everyone else. So it's not about that you have to like hurt everyone else or beat everyone or kill everyone if you want to have a different reality. Because the amazing thing, when you choose a different reality, it's a different reality. It's like a different dimension. Those people who cannot have that, those people who don't see it as possible, they won't sense it. There won't be any interference between the two realities because it's a different reality. So it will not hurt anyone if you will choose that. Like, you know, there are people, and in their reality, they can go to the stock exchange and they can make hundreds or thousands or millions of dollars within a week or just with one contract. And other people, they just cannot even figure it out. It's impossible. You just can't. It's not possible to earn that much money, and you just don't believe it because it's not part of your reality. For that person, for them, it's normal. It's part of their reality. They have it, they create it, and they are fine. And there is no interference here. There is nothing wrong about it. Anyone can have their own reality. So are you allowed to have your own reality, and are you choosing to have your own reality? The question is that, when was the last time when you gave yourself like really time, like quality time to sit down and allow yourself to really ask these questions, like, what is the life that I would like to live?
What do I really would like to do in my life? What do I really would like to create in my life.
And it really doesn't matter what is your profession today.
It doesn't matter what it is.
It doesn't matter how old are you today.
It doesn't matter if you think it's so stupid or it's impossible. No, what is that? Because it's possible. It can be possible.
Like, how would you like to live your life? And it's not about that you have to know as well how to get there. No, you don't have to know it. You don't have to know it, because if you would know it, you would try it.
Yeah.
I guess you tried it. But also the other thing is that it's a question, like, were you using your consciousness, or you were using the logical mind?
Or the judgments, or the limitations, or other people's points of view.
Because how many people failed when they wanted to, like, create their dream, when they wanted to bring it into existence, and then they failed? So how many of them were functioning from judgment or points of view or limitations or other people's ideas?
And how many times you didn't start to create anything, and you already gave up before you started to create? Because you already, you had the chat in your head, and you already played, from the beginning to the end. Yeah, but if I do this and blah, 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 at the end, okay, I just start doing it. But who does this belong to? Is it really yours? All these chats, all these thoughts, all these feelings, emotions?
The amazing thing is that, as we said, you as an infinite being, you are connected, you are interconnected, you are in communion with the whole universe and with all the beings. Here comes the other problem. Because of this, you are present with everyone else's fears and points of view and drama. So how many of your fears, how many of your judgments, how many of these negative head talks, how many of these belong to someone else? You just sense all the other people's points of view and judgments, and you don't even ask the question, like, is this mine? Because we learned it for so long time that if you have a feeling, if you have a thought, if something is going in your mind, it's yours. But no, how much of that is really yours, and how many of these feelings, thoughts, emotions belonging to someone else? You just sense it. But because you sense it, you think it's yours, and you don't even question it. So that's the amazing thing, that how many of the fears that are stopping you are not even yours.
And we already know this too, the who does this belong to, but how many times do we use it a day, for example?
Like, how many decisions you make, or how many times do you stop yourself during your day because you have feelings, thoughts, emotions, you sense these that belongs to someone else. And the amazing thing is that you just need to ask the question, who does this belong to? And then it's like being cleared. You start to have more space and more space and more space. And you just need to ask the question, who does this belong to? Because as an infinite being, this question allows you to have more space, more ease, more consciousness. Consciousness instead of functioning from other people's points of view. So everywhere where you're stuck, everywhere where you function from other people's reality, and that makes you stuck, will you destroy and uncreate for all eternity? Or are you willing to ask the question, who does this belong to? And what would your life be like if you could really follow your own knowing instead of everyone else's points of view? And here comes another question. What would your life be like if you would become aware of, like, this is your knowing and the other feeling, thought, emotion is not even yours? Like, are you ready and are you willing to be present? Are you willing to know? Like having that level of presence in your life where you can really make a difference and see, is this mine or someone else's point of view? What I'm thinking about this topic, or what I'm thinking about this decision, or what I'm thinking about this life situation. This thinking, this thought pattern or belief system that I use to make a decision, is this mine? Or I put together other people's feelings, thoughts, emotions. Because even if something happened with you, you can say, oh yes, it's my life experience. It happened to me like 2 years ago. And I'm pretty sure the same will happen, like, or based on that experience, this is what it's going to be now. But experience and using that as the basis for your decision, it has nothing to do with consciousness. When you function as the infinite being you are, you function from consciousness. You function from the space of knowing what is happening at the very moment and what is going to happen if you do this, or what's going to happen if you do that, like what's going to happen if you choose something else. And this is why it's never logical, because your logical mind is too slow. It cannot pick up that speed you can have as an infinite being. So it's never about functioning from your brain or from logical thinking, but it's about being present with all possibilities and allowing yourself to have access to that consciousness, to that level of space of infinite possibilities. And if we go back to our little story where we were walking on the beach and we really enjoyed our time, and we were talking about
what do we really would like to create and what is exciting for us. And yeah, and we did all the clearings, you know, all the fears, all the doubts, all
because
the points of view.
It came to the surface.
Yeah, we okay, I would like this. Yeah, but you don't have the money. But okay, so everything that is, we just destroy and create all of that. So everything, all the energies came up, we cleared everything.
Because as we were choosing something amazing, the limiting energies, the limitations,
it's already there.
And they all came to the surface. So it was amazing because, oh, now it's on the surface. Now I see it. Now I can clear it.
It's easy to clear, actually.
And then we went further. And like we were walking further on the beach, and it was amazing. We felt so excited. And actually, because of all these energetic clearings, we felt much lighter, more expanded, and all the energies that were sort of like bogged down and logged down and stuck in our bodies and in our reality in all the different layers, they got like refreshed and opened up. And it was really, really refreshing. And then we went back to the apartment, and I checked
the emails
and messages, and I received a message from my boss saying that
fired Rocco. Yes. Oh my God.
Yeah.
That was quick, wasn't it?
Yeah, there is a restructuring, therefore the whole team is fired.
Woohoo! How does it get any better than
I'm not
this?
thinking about that. Legally is not fired if you are on a holiday and you are fired.
Yeah, it's all right.
Okay, but the story is not about this part, but it's rather about okay, what came after this? Of course, we started to have all the panic. Oh my God.
We didn't ask for that. Yes. And after we asked questions, yes, we asked for that actually, because that was the biggest limitation holding us back, this workplace, actually.
Like, sort of like we were asking for the change. The thing, how you get there, you don't have to know. How you get there will show up. Like
because
everything.
If you already tell, okay, I would like this way, it never happens. If you, it's a limitation. Yeah, if you want to control how to get there, you never will. You won't be there. You can't go there. Or if you can, it takes so long, and it's so much effort, and
like things show up like always in a way that you can manage with the tools that you have at that time. When you ask for something, you may have an idea that, oh, I don't want to lose my job. Like the idea was that we would like to have this lifestyle, but build up in a way that's slow. Like this is what we were trying to do for many years.
And it didn't work actually. And this time we didn't ask that. We didn't ask the how or we would like to do this way. We didn't even think about it. How can we create? We were just so excited.
Or what it will be.
Yeah, we were just so excited and just okay, yeah, let's do it. Create it.
Like
change it.
we had a business, and that business for 3 years in a row, it was in debt. Like we were making a loss, like $25,000 year after year. It was not making any profit, not just not profit, but making a loss for 3 years in a row. And we were funding it from our full-time jobs. So we were working for that business to fail. It was very cool.
Yeah, so fun.
But we were functioning from logical thinking. We were trying to figure it out, and we were using the logic of how it should work. And we were following other people's points of view. This is how you should do it, and it's normal if you fail in the first few years.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah. So that happened, and we asked, okay, so what's next? What can we do now? How can we have money? You know, that was the first question, of course. And
it's not about the how, but it's asking for the money. Like now we know this is what we would like to have. We still know this is what we would like to have. It's clear. It's clear that this change happened because it's a contribution to what we were asking for. Like we thought it's not a contribution, but it was a logical thing.
But you know, if you start to ask questions, because the information is coming, and you will know what to do and where to go, and you know, you don't have the fear anymore, because you know this is the right way, this is the right track, this is the track or the change what I was asking for. So it's great. Okay, so let's go further. And that's what we did actually. You know, we asked, okay, is it part of the change? Yes. Okay, cool. And we felt much lighter. Okay, is it a contribution if Rocco find another job? And it was
working in an office again,
go back in a full time and a different company. No. Okay. Then don't do it. You know, follow the energy. Is it a contribution if we start to build our business? It was woof, yes.
A big energy.
Okay, universe, we are choosing it. Show us how to go there, how to get there, what to do, what's the next step. And we followed all the information, because you know everything. If you ask questions, you know everything. You get the information. And it was so exciting actually, because that was the first time we really started to use these tools, the light and heavy and the questions. And finally, and you know, when you have the experience, it works, it makes you so exciting actually, you don't want to stop it. And and we were just asking and asking and asking, and the information came, and we followed the information. And it was so cool, you know, and
because
it worked. And and actually within 2 months, the business started to generate, you know, from the loss, the business started to generate that much money what Rocco was earning in the workplace. And it was a really, really well-paid job. That's why we were worried a little bit, because, you know, it was a really good money. But within 2 months, we could create that much money.
And, you know, the interesting thing was when we were following our logical thinking for 3 years in a row, it didn't work. When we started to follow the energy of what we were asking for, what we wanted to have our life, when we started to follow that energy, not the logical thinking, but that energy, and everything started to work amazingly, like in the dreams. Like everything started to fall into its place. And this is what we would like to invite you to start to follow the energy and not your logical thinking.
Because it's possible, and everyone can do that. That's the great thing, you know. If we could do it, you can do it as well.
Anyone can do that.
Yeah.
Because each and every being has access to consciousness. You all have access to your knowing. You just have to start to follow the energy of your choice, of what you choose, what you would like to have.
That's the question you need to ask from yourself, and be honest, at least with yourself. I mean, only with yourself. What do I really want? Simple question. What do I want?
When we say just be honest, like when you say, okay, I would like to travel a lot, travel around the world, and then you have your thinking, but But I don't have the money. Okay, then I don't want to travel a lot, just a little bit.
I don't want to travel alone, it's boring or not so safe or blah, 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 blah. All the points of views, all the limitations is coming up.
So it's like, there is a thought process of stopping yourself based on your points of view, based on your belief systems. So when we say be honest, just stop this thought process that would limit you. Just keep to that dream, to that image that you would like to create. That comes naturally, that comes up to the surface that, oh, this is what I really would like to do. If nothing matters, if I had everything, this is what I would like to have, because all those things that's required for that starts to show up in your life.
And if you think it's a stupid thing,
like
it's
like
not,
everyone
actually.
says,
it's not.
Okay, you want to do that, but no one will pay money for that. Don't worry about it. Just follow the energy, because the money will show up. You will find a way how it creates the money. Like everyone can say, no, it's not generating money. Don't worry about it.
Don't listen to them. Really.
It's not their dream. It's your dream.
Yeah, maybe it's not create anything for them because it's nothing for them. But for you, it's wow, the energy is there. It's so much excitement is there, and you can create, you can create it because you know it.
Never follow someone else's point of view and someone else's dream. Follow your own dream.
Yeah. So what else is really possible? Really, what would you like to create in your life? And are you willing to do everything, whatever it requires?
And with this question, it's not just one thing, but changing the whole lifestyle. So just be honest to yourself, because if you want to change just one thing, that it will always be limited by the other elements of your life. Like you would like to travel a lot, but I don't have money for the tickets. I don't have money for the hotel. So therefore I don't want to travel a lot. And maybe I'm not allowed to ask two things, just one thing. No, you are allowed to ask as many things you want, as big as you want. Just be present. What would be exciting for you? Like, don't ask something that is big and expensive, but not exciting for you. You just ask it because everyone else is asking for that. No, ask what makes you feel excited.
It can be really anything. What is it for you? It's different for everyone,
A little bit same and a little bit and too much different.
Yeah.
Because a lifestyle, what does it mean? It has many elements. There is like relationship. If you would like to have an amazing relationship, that is part of it. Or if you would like to have a much better financial reality, it is part of that. Like money, it's an energy. There is nothing wrong with that. You can totally be an infinite being, a spiritual being, and have money. You are allowed to have that. So everywhere where you have a point of view as a spiritual being or as a healer, or as a guru, as a teacher, you are not allowed to have money, because you have to prove to everyone that you don't need money because money is evil, of this reality is
and
evil.
I have to do everything for free because, I'm a very clear soul, or how to say that, I'm so pure. I don't want to make myself dirty with money or whatever,
But money is part of
this
life.
Reality.
It's one energy of the million energies. And if you look around, are you willing to acknowledge that this energy is valued by everyone? There is nothing wrong with that. It's about acknowledging. It's valued by everyone. Are you willing to use it? Are you willing to have it?
The point of view behind it, that's the thing, that you can clear it. Money is just an energy. It's not good, not bad. We make it good or we make it bad, as everything else,
And many times they say, as a spiritual being, it's better if you don't have a partner. You are a lonely person. You walk your path alone.
Yes, because it's so much distraction and I don't know, whatever. But
what's the point of view? What if you are allowed to have a partner?
Maybe it works for someone.
Maybe it doesn't work for you. And that's okay if it doesn't work for you. But be honest with yourself, what you desire to have. And another thing, you can change your mind. If a week later you realize, fuck, I would like to have a partner. I don't mind. I mean, I had enough of not having a partner and be spiritual. And you can change your mind that I just had enough not having money.
Yeah, you can change your mind. That's the great thing.
And you can choose something else, and you can bring it into this reality. Like you can create that reality that has those elements that you choose to have as elements in your life. So there is no such thing that because in my previous lifetime I did this and this and that, therefore I'm not allowed to have it again.
Mm-hmm.
Where did you buy it? Like, who told you? Or how many people were telling this? What if you are allowed to have it? Because
it's a great excuse, actually, you know.
You are an infinite being. You came to this planet to play. This is your playground. You are the master of life. You are the master of all the materials,
you are the master
of
your life, actually. Only you are the master of your life. Like, no one else can do that.
Are you willing to use all the tools? Are you willing to play with the energies? Are you willing to change realities? Are you willing to create the reality that you desire to have?
Because you can.
Yes, it's really up to you. So all the different lifetimes when you were told you are not allowed to do it.
Or you were killed because you tried, you wanted to change.
Or you had amazing results, like you became very rich and you were killed for money, or you became an amazing and successful spiritual leader and someone else killed you, or you became whoever you became, or you did whatever you did and they killed you because of that. So you decided that, they killed me for this.
Ever.
I'm not going to do it ever again. Will you now destroy and uncreate and revoke, recount, rescind, reclaim, renounce, and denounce all these promises, oaths, vows, fealties, communities that you have ever done in any lifetimes?
Yeah.
And everything that doesn't allow it, will you destroy and uncreate as well? All the secret promises that you ever had. Because you were the one who bought into it. You were the one who made it significant in that lifetime.
But who can, destroy and uncreate all of that?
You are the one.
Only you. That's the great thing, You can create the shit and you can clear the shit as well. That's the great thing. No one else can do that. Only you.
These points of view, these energies, these decisions, you made these decisions. And based on these decisions, you create your life, lifetime after lifetime. But as you created it, as you made it significant, even you don't remember because it was like 10,000 lifetimes before, anytime you can destroy it, you can uncreate it and choose something else. You can even ask the question like, is that promise, is that decision still relevant today? Like maybe a few lifetimes before you were killed because you were a healer or you were a witch and they were hunting on you and captured you and killed you for being a witch. Okay, therefore I'm not going to heal anyone ever again. But today, in this lifetime, there is no such thing as, there are no more witch hunting. They will not put you on fire. So
hopefully.
You can ask the question, okay, is that promise still relevant today? And okay, not anymore. Cool, so I can choose it again. Now it's safe. Now you can be a healer. Or now you can be rich. Now you can be anything that you desire to be. And so as a lifestyle, there are so many areas, what we mentioned, like there is a relationship, there is money, like there is a profession, there is a job. That can be happiness. That can be something that is joyful for you. Like work or the way of generating money, it doesn't have to be hard, it doesn't have to be heavy, it doesn't have to be boring. You can earn and generate money with things that are exciting for you. You are totally allowed to do it. And as job, it doesn't have to be 8 hours a day. Like, you know, if it is fun, would you limit it just for 8 hours a day? It is fun for you. What if you are allowed to have fun 24/7? Like, really? And what else is there? Like you mentioned, relationship and money, and there is your body. Like, are you allowed to be healthy? And what if there is something more beyond being healthy?
And what is the body shape, what you really desire? Because guess what? You can create that as well.
Like, are you allowed to change the shape of your body, how your body shows up, to change the shape of the different body parts that you have?
Yes.
So as an infinite being, are you willing to function as an infinite being? Are you willing to function with your body? Are you willing to function with money? Are you willing to function with relationships as an infinite being? And everywhere you bought into, or everything that made you believe that you are not allowed to do it, will you now destroy and uncreate all that?
Forever and ever.
So what would your life be like if you could truly choose anything you desire? Like anything, even if you don't know now how to get there, even if you don't have the resources that you think you need to have to get there. Like, what would your life be like if you could choose anything, and if it would show up? How would you feel, and how would your body be like? What would happen to your financial reality? Like, how much money would you have? Where would you live? What would be the relationship that you have with your partner? Like, would you have one partner or many? Or would you change partners? Or would you have partners at the same time?
Rotation, you know.
One for each day and one for each night. What else can you choose? What if nothing is right and nothing is wrong, and you can have all kinds of realities?
If it works for you, you know, you can do that.
Just to be clear on this, when we say it works for you, it's a very important part, not for your logical mind, but it works for you as an infinite being. And why it's very important? Because as an infinite being, you are in communion with the whole planet. So that means you cannot hurt anyone, because when you ask the question, like, what would I like to have as an infinite being? And you know, if it comes up like having more money, having more ease and all of this, it will contribute to others. That's the amazing thing, that you function as an infinite being, then it means you function from being in communion with others. So whatever you choose from that space, that is not from selfishness, but it will create more, it will generate more for others as well. So it's a contribution to other people around you.
So what is more selfishness? If you start to choose for yourself and be a contribution, or if you don't? And everything that brings up, would you destroy and uncreate all of that?
Because the amazing thing is that, are you willing to be a contribution? And I'm pretty sure many people would like to be a contribution. And there are millions of ways how you can contribute to other people's life, how you can contribute to a group of people, how you can contribute to a whole nation, or to a region, or to a location.
And you don't have to wait for anyone else. You can do it by yourself.
And are you ready for that?
Are you willing to choose it?
And that's the question, like, because for that you have to stand up. You have to start and create the life that you desire, and not wait for anyone else, not wait for the right moment, because there is no right moment. You really have to start it. It shouldn't be like New Year's resolution. Don't wait until next Monday. Don't wait
don't wait tomorrow.
The next payment.
Tomorrow.
And it's also not about, so their message is, I have to leave my job now. No. You have to follow the energy. And if that's the result, then that's the result. If that's not the result, then it's not the result. It's following the energy
because
of what's...
your job, your workplace can be a contribution.
Yeah.
Still, it doesn't mean you have to leave your job and you have to go and travel.
Because the things will show up in a way that you can manage with the tools that you have. Like you choose something and the things, like this is the quantum entanglement, that you pull into your reality, those things that you can manage with the tools that you have at the moment. But that requires you to function from question, that requires you to be in that question of who does this belong to? That requires you to be present with what you choose, what you would like to have, to stay present with the energy of your choice. Because other way, you will follow your logic and all the people's points of view around you, and you will stop creation, or you will be derailed to another direction. That's not your dream, that's not true for you. So all the lifetimes and all the times when you started to follow your dream and you started to follow that energy, but then something stopped you, and then now you function from that. I already tried it and my experience, it didn't happen, I failed. The question is that, what was the energy that you were functioning from? Did you function from the space of being an infinite being? Or did you function from all the people's points of view? Just to make it clear that, you know, because you would stop yourself again because of a past failure.
We have a really great question we use a lot, and you already know it. Who am I without my stories? Who am I without my past? What would I create if my past wouldn't exist? You know, because we create the life, we choose based on the past experience, what happened in the past. And we don't change because of the past, because people already know me like this, and you know, they can't recognize me anymore, they won't like me anymore.
You also say, this is who I am. This is my age, this is my gender, this is my profession, this is where I'm born, this is where I'm coming from. Therefore, this is who I am. I did this and this and this in the past.
That made me that person who I am today.
And I have to stick to who I am today, because my past is important, because my past will identify me. It tells who I am. So this is how I can show everyone who I am. So I have to follow that route, that path.
Is it really true, actually?
Does it work at all? What if you can choose?
Are you your past? Or are you willing to be just in the present and create the future from the present, not from the past?
Like, what would your future, what would your life be like?
If you start to create not from your past, but from the present moment. And it doesn't matter what happened. You can cut a line, and it doesn't mean you have a separation and you
make wrong your past.
Yeah,
it's not about making it wrong. That. It's about not making it significant. You know what is your past, but you don't allow your past to limit your future choices, to limit what will you do in this very moment. Like maybe you are vegetarian since you're born, and then you say, okay,
that's who I am. That's part of my life. It's part of me. I'm vegetarian.
But there is a possibility to, I don't know, to lead a restaurant or be the manager of a restaurant or be a manager of a business where they do a lot of things with meat. I mean, oh no, because of my past, I'm not allowed to do it. But what if that is something that will create more for you and you are excited and you stop your excitement, you stop your drive, because of all the rules and all the points of view about how you should act as a vegetarian. It doesn't mean you have to start to eat meat. It doesn't mean anything. Are you allowed to choose what works for you, what creates more for you?
And it's not about vegetarian eating meat or not eating meat. So
it's just an example.
It was just an example. Yeah.
You can choose anything. It was just an example that don't stop yourself from creating the life that you desire just because your past experience or just because your points of view, just because of who you are. So that's why the question is, if your past doesn't matter, if it's not significant, then what would you choose? Like if you born today as who you are today, in that body, what would you choose now? Like maybe for the last 10 years, every weekend you went to the same restaurant. Would you go somewhere else this weekend? No, I went there every weekend, therefore I keep going there because they expect me to go there. I mean,
I already know everything in that restaurant. It's perfect for me.
What if you can choose something else? What if you can choose a totally different lifestyle? And you would say, oh, but everyone knows me that I'm not that lifestyle. Yeah, but now can you start to create the life that you desire, even if no one will know you, even if no one will recognize you after that? What creates more for you if your friends who were judging you for your whole life, if your friends would still recognize you, or if you start to create that life, that financial reality, that relationship, that body, that health that you would like to have, that would really make you excited. So who is the leader of your life? It's you or your friends and family? It's your parents, or it's the media, or it's what you know as an infinite being, or what makes you excited?
You know, friends or people start to laugh on you when you tell about your dreams. And when you start to create, everyone will hate you. You know?
And it's not about, okay, I want to make them all hate me. No, it's about, just don't worry about it. That's reality.
Who cares what other people are thinking of you or of your choices, of your dreams?
Would you give up your dreams because your friends and people around you say, then it's not right, it's not correct, you are not allowed,
possible.
It's not fair? Would you give up your dreams because of others? I mean, you already gave up your dreams for such a long time. Now, are you ready to choose your dreams, to have your dreams, no matter what they say, no matter whoever will say whatever? Are you really willing to honestly acknowledge what are your dreams? What would make you feel so excited? What would make you so joyful in your whole body, that your whole body and each and every cells of your body is just so tingling, so vibrating, so full of joy and energy? What are these things in life that would make you feel like that? That would make you have that level of energy all day long? What would you do that would create that? Because what you do that creates that level of energy, that's really worth doing. That's really worth to be created. So everywhere where you made more significant your environment and the people around you than your choices, than what you desire to have, where you destroy and uncreate all that.
Forever and ever.
Like everywhere you allowed others to direct your life, to command your life, to lead your life, to control your life and your choices, will you now destroy and uncreate all that too? Are you allowed to have everything that you desire to have? Are you allowed to have more than what you had at the beginning of this call? Or if you can have even more than that?
Yeah, you can go always beyond. Choose more and go beyond. And beyond and beyond. Always go beyond. And never look back. Because it doesn't create anything. So who am I without my stories? Who am I without my past? What would I create if my past wouldn't exist? And what is I really would like to do or create in my life? What is exciting for me? So that's your homework, guys. find out and start to create that.
Yeah, have a space for yourself and just be present with what's true for you. What is it that you would like to have? And don't worry if you don't have a clear vision for the first time. Just start to have more and more and more of that space where you are present with yourself, where you are honest with yourself, where you are not giving up. Just, okay, no one ever asked me what I would like to do. Like when I was a child, my parents asked me, and since then, no one ever asked me. And actually, maybe you were ashamed that, oh, you're stupid. You don't want to be a nurse. You don't want to be a doctor. You don't want to be
an actor or whatever.
Or an astronaut. It's stupid. You just be, I don't know, just a worker. Just be happy. Nothing else.
Just go to the multi because they are paying very well.
Like and, a multinational company or whatever. Just allow yourself, because maybe no one else ever gave you that space where you can be honest with yourself and be present and ask these questions from yourself. So just do that job, do your homework, and ask yourself.
And you can tell us next time what happened.
Because definitely we will have more calls in this topic. We wanted to talk about one more thing, and I think it will be next time. It's a really amazing topic, how abuse limits you in your creation, limits you as an infinite being.
Oh, it's not happening either. Never happened.
Maybe for some of you, abuse is a new topic. The amazing thing is that, just for starting point, that you as an infinite being, your nature is the continuous expansion, expanding in everything that you do as a being. And when someone starts to use abuse against you, and it doesn't have to be physical or sexual abuse, because there is financial abuse, there is spiritual abuse, there is emotional abuse, there is mental abuse.
And the most popular is the self-abuse.
So all these different forms of abuse are created in order to stop your expansion. Because when you are abused, you naturally start to contract yourself. So it's really amazing, and it's really important to be clear on this. And we would like to talk about this, that how many creations you have that you stopped because you've been abused, or abusive people around you made you stop.
For the next time.
Yeah.
So thank you so much. Thank you for joining us today. Thank you for your contribution. Thank you for the translation, Eileen.
Thank you so much.
And
thank you for everyone who was contributing to this call.
Have a wonderful day, evening, it depends where are you, and see you next time.
Yeah. And if you would like to contact us, if you have other questions, we will put it into this video at the bottom, like this will be on our YouTube channel,
yeah.
The Chill and Rocco Conscious Journey, and there's the same of our website as well.
Cool. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. See you. Bye. Bye-bye.